Welcome back to Star Trek Adventures, USS Hathaway for Trek Geeks Game Night. This is our 7th session, starting our 4th story. The background of this is our players have left the regular one station, and they have been moving from location to location across the Orion and Andorian sector. Their newest destination is going to be to New Sydney. Few things have happened over these couple of weeks, basically. What has happened is Star Trek II has occurred, where the Genesis device had been launched and exploded and caused the Genesis planet. Captain Kirk, Admiral Kirk, after having the ship severely damaged, has returned back to space station to have the repairs done. Captain Spock has been reported as killed in action, or died in action, sorry. And recently the fleet has been updated that Captain Kirk and an unknown group of people have taken the Enterprise and hijacked it in the process of sabotaging the new Excelsior class ship. The fleet's been told to basically keep an eye out and report if they see anything. Otherwise, they are to go around and operate as normal. So with that, I'm going to go ahead and bring in the crew. And give me some conversation, crew, to make sure we're recording your voices.
Hello.
Okay. The crew is recording. Good. So, you're heading towards New Sydney, and your mission, before I give you RP, is that you are on your way to the New Sydney for a application of law symposium by the New Sydney Police. Our XO has been sent ahead to set up the reception, set up for your arrival, brief the locals, constabulary, and government that you are on your way, and basically just do some pre-handshakes and grinning before the ship actually arrives. You are in transit currently towards New Sydney. So with that, I will turn over to RP for the crew before we continue on in the story. So let me go ahead and zoom out here. And I will shift you guys over to the bridge so you can see yourselves here. There we go. And you should see the bridge. Okay. Open for RP.
Mr. Etrigan, I don't remember hearing very good things about the security forces on New Sydney. What can you tell me about them?
It's run more of a authoritative police city station. It's I wouldn't say it's as free, but it's certainly effective.
Do you think we're being sent there to learn from New Sydney, or or for them to learn from us?
I somehow don't see the Federation moving the authoritative movement. So I would say that we're probably sent to learn how they do things so that we don't cause any trouble and hopefully influence them to away from an authoritarian society.
I should hope not we're not leaning towards authoritarianism. There is a sizable Trill presence there, I think. Mr. Tral, do you have any family there?
Not that I'm aware of.
I don't think I do either. But you never know.
Yeah, my family is from grew up on a space station, so my family could be from all over the place.
Grok is going to head over to the dock station.
Okay.
He's going to look around, make sure no one's like eavesdropping, and he's going to lower his voice as he says, "Hey, Doc."
Well, hi, Grok.
Hi. I just wanted to let you know I've made some updates to your program. I got a new book with all kinds of tourist destinations and stuff from Andor. So I've imported them and recreated a few. So whenever you get a chance, I'd love your input on some of them.
Maybe when we get some free time, we can go explore it together.
That sounds like a good idea. I look forward to it.
Doc's got a big old smile on her face.
He's like swings. He's kind of like happily swings back and forth on his heels, and then turns around and heads back to his with a spring in his step.
Aww.
Okay. So, any thoughts or conversation about Admiral Kirk and the ship before we move on? Your chance to weigh in on what you think was right or wrong about his actions.
Well, presumably a lot of the motivations for the actions are probably classified. So all we really know is that Kirk stole the ship and we're on the lookout for him, right?
Give or take, yeah.
Captain?
I would suspect that anything an admiral does is above my pay grade. way above my pay grade.
Yeah, but
Right.
regardless of rank, a stolen ship is a stolen ship.
Yeah, but I'd like to suppress any gossip here on my ship.
I was just curious, Captain, what are our plans if we do run across the ship?
If we do run across the ship, we will hail them and we will talk to Admiral Kirk. And then, depending on what he says, we'll determine our actions. And then we will report to Starfleet exactly what we did.
Okay.
That's the plan. But I don't think we'll run into Admiral Kirk.
Okay. So with that, let's go ahead and do this roll again. For those of you who don't know, we had a recording issue, so this is the second time for my crew to do this. So, Ops, give me this one here we're going to do insight and science because this isn't an open communication. So give me insight, science, and then for the ship, it's still comms science. And we're looking for one one success.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, this was better than the first one.
Yeah.
Okay, so with that, security officer, well, you can keep track of the momentum this time. So you're getting 2 momentum. So just drag the tokens.
Say that like I know how to do it.
Just grab the token.
Yeah.
And put it on top of your character line. And then
is it supposed to be that big?
Do a draw.
Oh.
I can remove it.
So just draw 2?
Yeah, draw 2.
Okay.
There we go.
Okay.
So we'll
Very good.
Take
Very
that.
good.
So you have 2 momentum. So the message you get in is distorted. It's not real high power. What you roughly get out of it after doing some scrubbing against it is it states that you get a communication that states Kronos 1, which at this point, or Kronos 1, which you know is the Gorkin or the Chancellor's current ship, has been attacked, and then Gorkin has been killed. And roughly, and I'll bring the map back up, roughly what you see is on the map here, we go ahead and zoom in. What you're seeing here is The communication roughly comes from the direction of that Class 12 nebula. So with that, I hand it back over to the crew.
Etrigan has a slight smile on his face as he hears death.
Are there sensors? Are there any other Starfleet vessels in the vicinity?
Oh, okay. Do you want to scan for ships
Yes, I'd like to.
that are not on what's considered your identification friend or foe type of thing? So you're scanning for ships that aren't reporting their location.
Yes.
Interesting. Good. So with that, we'll probably have your security officer roll a control security, and the ship is going to do sensors security. And this is going to be a success of 2.
Come on,
Mr.
security.
Tral, could you please assist Mr. Etrigan?
Aye, Captain. This is control security.
Yes.
Security.
And I believe you have a sensors focus?
I do.
Ooh.
I don't think I can use a focus with a assist though, can
Yes.
I? Oh, you can. Okay.
Yes, you just don't. You should get 1 dice. It's still in your wheelhouse.
All right, and what is my dice value?
Yours should be 2. You're going to roll 2 dice.
Okay.
There you go.
Okay. Nice. So draw another momentum.
Yeah.
And from what you can see, there is no additional ships in range of your sensors, other than those that are reported by basically ship sharing communications. Kind of like a transmission to let you know who's around the area. There's nothing that you can see that's hidden or outside of what's being reported.
Okay, I'd like to contact Starfleet.
Okay. So we'll just make that a free roll or a free contact. You already got 3 momentum. So after a few moments and some relaying through a couple of relays, you get the Federation representative. It's a captain. What can I do for you, Captain?
Yes, we've just received. We are currently transiting from Regular 1 to New Sydney, and we just received a communication indicating an attack on Kronos 1 and the death of Chancellor Gorkon in the Orion Nebula.
Hold on. It's the Class 12 Nebula on the edge.
Oh,
Right there on the edge, right by Kittimer. See that?
sorry, that's way farther out than I was looking.
Yes. Why can't I ping? Because it's just double click, right?
No, click and hold.
No, it's
Hold.
Yep, that
There.
one.
There you
Oh,
Okay.
click and hold. There we go. That, yes.
All right, then in a nebula on the edge of the Klingon Empire.
Are they asking for assistance?
No. Would you like us to delay our journey to New Sydney to investigate? It appears we are the only Federation ship in the area.
Interesting. Did they say they were being attacked?
It was a very fuzzy transmission. All we could tell is that they had been attacked and that Gorkon was dead. We don't think it was intended for us.
Okay, stand by. And you basically see the screen go blank with the Federation crest up there.
We're on hold.
Basically, you're on hold, waiting.
Holding, please wait.
I mean, let's be honest. The general captain can't just be like, "Sure, go over there near the borderline." He's basically getting approval from somebody higher than him.
Yep.
Any conversation or speculation you have?
If the Chancellor is dead, this could be could spell some turmoil for the Klingon Empire.
Good riddance to bad rubbish.
We just don't want their turmoil to spread to us.
And it usually does.
All of Klingon Empire's neighbors are definitely at risk now if the reports are true.
Okay, so a few minutes more passes, and what you see is the screen returns to a person, but it's not the captain that you had originally seen. Now this is an admiral of certain rank. You really can't tell because most of their, it's not real clear as whether it's a 3 or 4 or how many. It's just basically a neck up. And you are told, Captain, this is very disturbing to hear this. Go ahead and move to the nebula at best speed. Try to stay in the nebula to reduce the chance of you being detected, and see if you can further determine where the actual situation's occurring. We want to know, but we don't want to really be known that we were in there.
Roger that.
Do you have any problems with these orders?
No. We did, however, leave our XO is already on New Sydney. What should we tell the delegation there?
You may send a message to your XO saying that your arrival is going to be delayed indefinitely until we get a better situation. We have a rogue captain, and now we have a Klingon reporting that they've been attacked. So we're hoping for the best and praying that it's not the worst.
Oh, you and me both, Admiral.
Is there any further details that I can assist you with to give you help you out?
Are there any other ships in the area that you can send to back us up if necessary?
It would be days away right now.
Yes, I understand.
With that, Captain, Godspeed.
Hathaway out.
And so, we're going to go ahead and switch you guys back to this for now. Why does this thing keep zooming in at maximum?
Right? Did on mine as well.
Okay. So with that, I hand it over back to you.
I think it's because it maintains the same zoom no matter the picture. So if you were zoomed in on the map, you're going to be zoomed in on the bridge.
Oh, that could be true.
So does everyone else see their name under their character or someone else's name, or is my name on the bridge and no one else's for some reason?
No, I only see mine.
Oh, okay. That makes more sense.
Yeah, it's because of the tokens. The GM has to put the names in the name blanks if he wants them showing up. A lot of games where you have like a creature attacking a party, you don't necessarily want to tell the party what the creature is, so it keeps that blank by default.
I have it showing.
Yeah, I just don't remember seeing my name under my token on the screen before. That's why I was commenting.
Well, Mr. Tral, could you please send a message to Commander Tretner and let him know that we're going to be a bit delayed, and to please give our apologies to the delegations at New Sydney.
Aye, Captain.
I don't need to talk to him. Just send him the message.
Certainly.
Captain.
Yes.
What do we know about this Class 12 nebula that we're approaching?
Not enough. I think we have until we get there to find out more. Hopefully, I looked at the chart though, and I think we can come out of warp behind the planet next to the nebula that started with an A that I don't remember the name of because I'm not looking at the map anymore. So we have some cover as we to assess out the situation.
There you go. Just because, I can help you out.
Thank you. Arcanus 4.
Arcanus.
Okay, so you're plotting course to what location?
To Arcanus 4.
Okay. So, Oh, our pilot's not here.
Nope. I can fly the ship.
Ooh, okay. Let's see the
Ooh,
captain's
yeah.
snazzy flying here. Let's go ahead and do. I'll let you get one more roll for momentum before we get there. So with that, I want the captain to roll a control con and the ship to roll engines con. And I'm looking for, it's a pretty standard thing. You're not going anyplace too crazy. So it's just one success.
Do you need some assistance with that, Captain?
Yes, please. Could you please roll for the ship?
Oh, poo. I wasn't ready for that answer. Okay. Yes. And for the ship, what am I rolling again?
Engines con.
Engines con.
While the roll is being done, Grok remembers some information about Arcanus. Captain, I recall hearing about a Federation outpost being attacked by some unidentified raiders at Arcanus 4. This was, I think it was in the 2260s or so. It was a little bit ago.
Well, I mean, we're going to be on the Klingon border. It's going to be dangerous no matter where we pop out. But thank you for the heads up. We'll be extra careful at Arcanus.
Okay, so it looks like we have 2 successes on that. And so that means what? One more momentum, right?
Okie dokie.
Okay, so little time passes. I mean, the distance isn't tremendous, but I mean, it still takes, several hours. I mean, we're talking, ships are fast in Star Trek, but we're talking probably still 5 or 6 hours transit.
At warp, what, 6, 7?
No, probably at the maximum you guys can go. I mean, this probably should have been. Well, I mean, the captain can choose. How about that? I'll give you an estimate based on what she chooses. How fast are you going there, Captain?
At all deliberate speed. How hard can you push the engines?
Well, I can give you full power. That shouldn't be a problem. But any more than that, I'm gonna have to get out and push.
Well, let's try not to have you do that.
So at your maximum,
I kind of want to see that.
At your maximum speed, it's only going to take like 8 to 10 hours. Now, the engineer could, if he chose, to roll to speed you up, losing probably another 2 hours. If you chose that. However, if he doesn't succeed in the roll, it's 2 hours longer.
Captain, do you want me to get out and push?
Yeah, let's not leave Mr. Tretner waiting too long. I think this is an instance that cause for urgency.
Yes, Captain.
So you're
right,
trying
what do I
to
roll?
pull some Scotty stuff. So for you, you're going to have to do an insight, engineering, and the ship is going to do engines engineering. And you need 3 successes. If you're successful, it will take you 5 hours. If you're unsuccessful with a complication, it will take you 9 hours.
All right.
If you're unsuccessful, it'll still be 7.
What's the difficulty?
3.
I am going to use a momentum, and I am going to use a focus. Warp engines.
Okay. So,
Anyone assisting?
We should have someone assist.
Who would you like to assist?
What are we rolling?
I
Tral, if he's available.
Yeah, please do, Mr. Tral.
Why did you steal my...
Because he just spent a token.
Sorry. I'm not used to doing the momentum thing.
This is what happens when security is in charge of momentum. Put that momentum
Put
back.
it back. It's mine.
And what's the ship rolling?
The ship is rolling engines engineering.
Oh, come on, ship. Come on, ship.
The little ship that could. I mean, put those 4 nacelles to work.
Come on, you can do it.
I could also use one of
Yay!
my...
We did it!
Yes, we did. But I have
Huzzah!
I have a talent. I know my ship. Whenever I attempt a task to determine the source of a technical... Oh, that's not a technical problem.
No.
Okay, so never mind.
Well, isn't it if you think about it? Because you're trying to make it go more than what it's currently at.
The ship's technically not broken. He's just trying to exceed its standard operating.
Right.
It's not broken.
Speed limit's broken.
Yeah.
No.
I tried, Grok.
Okay.
I tried.
Yes, you did. Appreciate it.
So you arrive in 5 hours because you were successful.
Because we have Grok.
And boy, are my arms tired.
I should have used some threat there. Just to cause an issue. Okay, so you arrive substantially earlier. I mean, when you're talking the difference in 2 hours and a 7-hour trip, that's a substantial decrease. So you arrive roughly, you arrive earlier than you expect. So
now the engines are running super hot.
Yes. In fact, to the point that you probably can't go max warp for a while.
Okay. Well, we're currently parked behind Arcanus 4, so I'd like to go ahead and do a sensor scan of the area to see if there are any ships or any particles that would indicate the presence of a ship or any debris from an attack on a ship.
Okay, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to do an open roll, okay? Depending on his success, you're going to get information. Depending on how successful it is how much information you're going to get, okay? There might be something there. There may not be something there. It just depends on what roll comes out. So, who do you want to roll for your sensors?
Mr. Tral.
Okay.
Yeah, that would be me.
So, go ahead and roll. Let's see. For this, I'm going to have you do... I'll have you do reason. Okay, so do reason, science... And the ship's going to do sensors, science. And let's see how many...
Every time I try to guess what you want me to roll, I always guess wrong.
Dr. Xhad, can you please assist him?
Yes, Captain. Ooh!
We sensed a thing!
On.
Go, Hathaway!
So that is a total of 4. Okay. So you scan the area. And there isn't really anything to detect except for a nebula, some planets, and that's it.
Are the planets in or out of the nebula?
No, the planets are the ones in the standard area. All the planets are where they're supposed to be. You're inside the nebula, you're just detecting the nebula.
But we're not inside the nebula.
Well, right. What I'm saying is you're scanning around you.
Yes.
Okay. Well, all you detect is the planets that are supposed to be there, the nebula, and that's it. There's no other unforeseen ships that you're able to detect.
Okay, I'm going to take us into the nebula then, and be very careful to stay on our side of the border.
Captain?
Yes, Doctor?
This close to Romulan, really? Klingon space. I'd like to get all the rotation for the medical crew on alert just to be ready in case something happens.
Yes, I think we should go to yellow alert.
Yeah. Okay, thank you.
So, what you're saying is right now your shields are up, and so, again, roughly here is the nebula. Looks semi-familiar. So, what I want you to do is I want you to place the and I'll give you a planet to give you an idea how big, how close and stuff you are.
Where's the border?
The border, I will draw the line.
Okay.
So basically, I'll actually expand this a little bit for you. Let me get in there. All right. Get in there. Get there. There. I'll expand this out like that, and then I will draw a line. So we do nice bright red. So only a very slim amount of the nebula is in Federation space. Okay? The nebula is several AUs. Okay? Everybody knows what an AU is, right? I think we had that conversation. Everybody know what an AU is?
Maybe.
For sure, memories.
An astrometrical
large area.
It's an astrometrical unit. It's the standard
Gotcha.
distance from the sun to the Earth, which is 8 minutes of light speed. Okay, so it's still a couple of AUs into the Klingon territory. So, Captain, I believe you should have control of being able to drop your ship token. So, where would you like your ship to enter the nebula at?
There she is.
Okay. Okay. What would you like to do?
I would like to scan again, going along the border to see if we can detect anything abnormal in this nebula.
Okay, so let me give you, and Grok's able to make this determination with the assistance of Tral. The effect is the following in this nebula. You do have shields, okay? You do have shields, but all your scans are +1 difficulty to outside the nebula, okay? And it's +2 difficulty if you're outside the nebula trying to scan in. So right now you're basically neutral in your scans. If you enter or exit, it makes it more difficult. Okay? Your warp engines are basically completely shut down.
That's fine. We were going to do this on impulse anyway.
Okay? And communications outside the nebula are sketchy at best. Okay.
Captain, since our engines are useless inside the nebula, would you like me to take them offline and divert warp power to other systems? Have that power ready in case you need it?
That's a great idea, engineer.
All right. It'll take me a few minutes.
Okay. So, what is your next?
We scan.
You scan. Okay. Scan again. Yeah, same rolls. See if you can get anything out of it.
Same team.
Okay, so I'm
Yikes.
reading 2 successes with a complication. Now, I'll give you the opportunity to negate that complication and give me threat, or you lose 1 shields due to interference from the nebula.
Could we roll to save the loss of that shield since we're diverting power?
Well, you gotta make that decision before you can do anything else.
Gotcha.
Captain, it's your choice.
Yeah, I'm reading stuff to see if I have anything
I
to
don't
help
like
us.
the idea of the GM getting threat.
Yeah, I don't like that idea either.
Ooh,
I
he
think
enjoys
we're
that way too much.
We're gonna take our shields down a notch.
Okay, so I'm going to put your shield stats up here in a second here. So I'm going to display. So your blue is your shields, and I believe your shields are what, 9? I have to look at your stats again because I have stats up for different people. Let's make sure I know what your stat. I'll bring up your stats. Okay, so your stats are power. Let's see, 8, 9, 10, 11. Your shields are 11.
11. Yeah, 11.
Nice. So I'm going to put that in, show you your shields are up. And then I'm going to put your power as a red number. Your power is 9 of 9. So, save changes. So you should see your stats up on the screen right now, correct?
Correct.
Yes.
Okay, so I'm going to... No?
Yes.
Yes.
Oh, I'm sorry. I thought you said no. My mistake. Okay. So there we go. Okay. So with that main successes, you don't detect anything other than a nebula. Now remember, the bearing came from the nebula direction. It didn't specifically state that it came from the nebula.
Are our scans penetrating outside of the nebula? Did our successes cover that?
It does cover your side of the nebula. It does not cover the other side of the nebula. There's too much interference due to the depth of how much nebula is left.
Okay. Does anybody else have any bright ideas?
Only thing I can think of is if we have that extra power for shutting off the warp engines to divert it maybe to shields.
Or how about if we're trying to break or scan through the nebula, we can divert it to the sensor array. See if that's able to cut through some of the interference.
We could enter Klingon space to the edge of the nebula where it's less likely for it to be detected and see if that cuts down the...
Good suggestions, everybody.
Yep. I'm not too keen on entering Klingon space unless we absolutely have to. Let's boost the sensors with the that shield peptide, and I'm going to move us slightly closer.
Okay. So, what you hear... Oh, I'm sorry. So go ahead and you're doing sensors again, right?
Yeah, but we're
Yes.
also dumping warp power into the sensor array.
Okay. So what it is there's really not... Mechanically, there's not really warp power in this. What you do is the 9 is how much power you have. Okay? So what you can do is you can spend a power... I'll allow you to spend a power out of your 9 pool, your 9 of 9 pool. And I would make the difficulty that you want to roll against 1 less if there's something there. Does that make sense?
Makes sense, Captain. What do you think?
Yeah, because you're basically rolling for an unknown. There may be something out there, may not be something out there, but you can use it to make it less difficult if there is something out there.
Okay, yes, we're going to do that.
Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and drop you down to 8 power, and what you're doing is you're putting energy into the sensors to make them more sensitive. Okay, go ahead and give me a roll.
And who would you like rolling, Captain?
Same team as last time.
Okay.
We're still rolling reason?
Yes. Okay, so Doctor has assisted. Everybody's successful. Nice. Okay, so you don't really detect anything new in the sensors. However, you do receive a transmission. Okay.
Play transmission.
The transmission's, again, very garbled because now you're actually inside the nebula, so you got a little bit of interference on your receivers. But what you're hearing is that roughly they said something about the Enterprise has fired on Kronos 1. And it is inside. It is inside Klingon, roughly Klingon space.
Okay, we're going to come out of the nebula and relate that information to Starfleet.
Okay, so go ahead and back your ship out. Okay, so you send that transmission. And to keep it short and sweet, basically you are told to do whatever you need to do to stop Kirk and the Enterprise from doing further damage to Kronos 1.
Okay, can we pinpoint the position from that transmission now that we're closer to it and we're outside of the nebula?
You can still only really get a bearing, okay? And it's almost... So I'll flip you back to the other map really quick again. So it's pretty close to... Okay, so it's pretty close to being down this bearing. So you're inside, you're on the outskirts of the nebula, like right here. Okay, roughly, there's something like down in here.
Okay, those
down that
pings look
bearing.
like they were exactly the same place.
One was on the other side of the border.
Yeah,
it looked
yeah.
like.
This is where you're at. Okay, this is roughly where the bearing is, down in there. So,
Okay, that's so closer, more like Boreth.
Yeah.
All right, let's stay out of the nebula. Can we go to here? I don't want to say south, but south of the nebula. So we have a direct look across the border and go ahead and scan again.
Okay, so let me change this to that.
While this happens, based on your order, Grok, go ahead and changes power back over to the warp engine.
Are you sure we want to do that? I mean, are we really in a rush to go nab Captain Kirk? Admiral Kirk?
Hey, if he's starting a diplomatic incident, that means we have to at least figure out what's going on.
Okay, so I shrunk up the nebula a little bit.
Anything we have to do to hear the GM do a Shatner voice.
Nope,
right?
that ain't
Okay,
gonna
I'm
happen.
with you. All right,
See,
let's get that
that's-
warp engine back on.
Nope.
That's why I'm hesitant as to whether or not we're actually going to run into Admiral Kirk, because I know the GM's not doing a Shatner.
Mm. So, okay, so if you scroll down on your map, I shortened up the nebula so you can actually move the ship down to the edge of the nebula if you want. There you go.
There we go.
Okay. So, let's go ahead and do a roll again. So now you're out of the nebula. Okay. Do you want to put any power into that into the sensors now that you don't have that interference?
No, because we don't have the interference, and
Right.
because it could get ugly. We
Okay.
need that power.
Okay. Okay, one more roll. This will be the last roll like this, because this is going to determine one of a couple things. Okay, so Xhad, that's 3. Let's see what the ship does for you.
Not a damn thing.
Okay, so we'll flip back to the map one more time.
Ship is so useless.
Okay, so I'm back on there. oops, I'm back on the map here. And what you've basically determined is it's somewhere like right here. Between Devos 2 and Boreth. You got basically a pinpoint area. And the other thing is you are detecting in that area some kind of small gravitational disturbance.
But no ships.
No ships.
Alrighty. Guess what, team?
What's that, Captain?
We're crossing the border.
Oh,
Don't worry,
all
we're
right.
gonna sneak back up into the nebula and go to the corner of the nebula in Klingon space before we go out there.
We're with you, Captain.
Okay. So, you're going to go on the other side of the Class 12 nebula in Klingon space. That you said?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yes, we're literally going to sneak up back into the nebula, stay right inside the border, and then just go to its extent, its edge in Klingon space.
Okay. So let me do a quick adjustment to our nebula map here. Okay. And then basically I'm going to just take the nebula and move it around this side. Take this line, move it way back here.
Such a flexible nebula.
Hey, it works really good. All
Hey,
over the
gas
place.
is flexible.
Okay. Let me do that. Okay, and let me adjust the line here. Give me one more second now, or like 10 more seconds, and I'll have this done. Okay, come on. Trying to grab a line, and it keeps grabbing my background map. Okay, I'm going to show it to you. I'll just adjust it while... Okay, so I'll zoom out on the player map, or on the player screen. Okay, so let me slide that over. And trying to grab that second red line there. There we go. Got it. Okay. And then nebula is a little bit bigger. So now go ahead and place your ship where you want it to be, and we'll be good. Okay. So, what do you want to do?
Guess what we're doing again, guys?
Okay. So, you want to scan again.
Yes.
Okay. Remember, you're inside the nebula, so it's going to be a little bit more difficult.
We're going to use a power.
Okay. Use a power. I will take that power off. Okay. Roll it up.
Ooh, nice.
Okay, that's 4 successes. I like it. Okay, you still detect no ships in that area, even though, you're using the extra power to make it more sensitive. But you do detect a disturbance right there.
Ping one more time.
Right there.
Right there. Okay.
Sorry, I
Something
didn't
is there. Yep.
I was zoomed.
Yep,
Like
that's fine.
L26 or something.
Oh,
Yeah,
there.
right there.
Yeah.
Okay, we're going to go investigate that.
Let's do it.
Whee!
Okay. So now that you're a little closer, what you kind of are able to detect without any kind of major thing is there is a stream of like different type of gas, similar to the gas that you would use for impulse speed. And there's a line coming from, I'll change my color here. Let me change the color here. Draw freehand. Change the color to this color. And it basically goes like this.
Oh, someone was here.
We should probably follow that line.
No. It's coming towards you.
Oh, it's coming towards us?
Yes.
That's
Row.
Okay. And then you get a transmission.
Open transmission. Put it on screen.
Please do the Shatner pause.
Mm-mm. It's the Klingon crest. And there's no image. There's just words. And it's basically the words are, "This is Brigadier General Chang.
Uh-oh.
Why are you... we have received transmissions from our Chancellor's ship saying that it has been attacked. We found no ships at the location the transmission came from. So we were searching and we basically got and found you."
Okay, let's reply to General Chang and tell him we're looking for the same thing. We would like to offer any assistance required locating Honoswan.
Okay. His response is, "The only way you can assist me..." Hold on. "Is with your death."
Well, that's not going to happen.
Oh, well, is it
What is
Tuesday
it?
already?
And with that,
Oh.
we're going to take a break.
Oh.
Well, that escalated quickly.
Oh.
So,
Just so we're aware,
before the break, our crew discovered that in the nebula there was a cloaked Katinga prototype. Oh, you guys didn't know. So this is one of the first Katinga class. This is a prototype. This is like the first one, and it is currently being tested by Brigadier Chang, not General Chang. He's still a brigadier, so it's a couple years earlier than we know him, quote unquote. So
That's as high ranking as he's going to get after today.
yeah, we'll see about that. So because the nebula, Grok would be able to inform somebody if they were interested in knowing that the reason you got some kind of trail was because they entered cloaked, but the nebula was displaced by the engines
Right.
that was moving through it. So that's what you're actually detecting. So with that, here's what we're going to do. Due to the situation, I don't think Brigadier Chang is in the mood for discussing. Ultimately, he got a message saying that his Chancellor was shot at. He was shot at by the Enterprise. He went out there looking for the Enterprise. Now remember, he got to the location that you guys have finally determined a lot sooner than you, since he was in his own territory. And he didn't find anything. So now he's trying to find the ship that supposedly shot at his Chancellor. And he was lying in wait, thinking that maybe the ship was trying to get out through the nebula. And lo and behold, here you are.
And he threatened to kill us.
He is actually completely within his rights to kill us, since we are violating Klingon space right now. So my preference would be to skedaddle back to our side of the border and retouch with Starfleet.
Okay. So,
that's
because
the way the captain thinks.
Because he was cloaked, he will get first shot. Because he uncloaked on you and basically said, "We're going to shoot you uncloaked," and took his first shot. So, how this is going to work is your ship is a scale 4. Okay? So what happens is you get an action per turn. Okay, so one complete turn is an action of 4. Okay? You get one action for every scale size the ship is. Now, we're not going to do any difficulty type things because of your range when it comes to engaging targets. However, you can only shoot one time with no difficulties. If you look into the book, you'll find out that every time you repeat an action, it immediately becomes one more difficulty. Okay? So, the Katinga is only going to get 3 actions per turn. Because it's technically a smaller class vessel than you are. So our ranges are going to be as follows: 1 and 2 squares. So within 2 squares straight, or 3 squares diagonally. Okay, so that means like I'm sitting in, or the Katinga's sitting in, I believe L20. So technically N16 is still considered close range because that's diagonally. Okay? So 1 to 2 straight or 1 to 3 diagonal is close. Okay? Out to 5 squares is medium range. Okay? 6 squares diagonally. And then 7 to 12 is long range. Anything beyond 12 squares will not be able to be engaged upon. Got that?
And how many diagonally?
Pretty much it's going to be diagonally if you go 12, unless you're absolutely in a straight line. So it'd still be +1 for a diagonal.
Okay.
So, the stats of the Katinga are classified. So, Nini, you don't get to see them.
Hey, but didn't we encounter a Katinga during the incident with the V'ger probe?
That was still classified as a D7.
Really?
Yes, Katingas didn't. One of the first Katingas put to space was like in the late 80s, 2280s, early 2290s.
And even if it had, all we saw was a video footage of them blowing up. It's not like Starfleet had any up close and personal experience with them.
So
if you played in reverse, though, it puts itself all back together.
No, Katingas were in service in the early 2270s. Those were Katingas and V'ger in TMP.
Oh, okay. I could have.
Well, that's what happens when you have Starfleet can get a close look at them.
Katingas appear in the Kobayashi Maru training scenario, so you better believe you have access to those stats.
That's what happens when you have 30,000 different sources of information.
Maybe you
No, Captain.
Well, guess what? This is a Katinga prototype, so you're not quite sure.
We should take as many sensor readings of it as we can.
While we run away.
Blow it out of the nebula.
I like it. The security guy's like, we're gonna blow it out of the nebula. Kev's like, run away.
We can't blow it out of the nebula. Like, we know that won't happen, even if we try, because Chang has to live to be in Star Trek 6.
Does he have to live? It could be like, you know,
like
how do you know the future?
Rows.
How do you know the future, Lieutenant?
We might alter the timeline.
He could get out via escape pod.
Right?
Okay, so Katinga's going to take the first shot. So this time we're going to allow. Hold on. Where is his stat sheet? Sorry, I'm also bringing up the stat sheet for certain character. Yes, I must have a stat sheet. That'll make life easier for me.
Ooh.
Okay. So he is going to do a shot. And you guys did not give me threat, but I do have threat to start with. And you know what? He is not a happy camper.
Oh,
he
typical
is
Klingon.
Not a happy camper. So
he needs a triple to hug.
going to do that. Actually, yeah, he's going to do that.
I don't think that would work out so well, Doctor.
I know, right?
And the ship is going to roll just for principles. The principles of it all. And it's going to be weapons.
And being a prototype, it malfunctions, right?
Yeah, no.
Yeah, that's definitely what happens.
That is. Oh.
Sounds right.
Oh, look at that. Okay, so let's. I'm going to roll up some dice here. This is going to cost me energy. What is my starting energy? Damn it. Okay, so that's my starting energy. Okay, so he fires his disruptor cannons at close range. And he challenged dice. He is rolling that many. Submit.
Oh.
And he has Vicious 1, which if we look at Vicious 1, let's verify here. Vicious 1 should mean that he gets 1 extra damage for every effect.
Oh.
In other words, we blow up.
We abandon ship and we all pile in the spear and hightail it back to Federation space.
So on
Quick,
page...
everybody jump on a nacelle. Let's go.
So on page 179 of the core book, it says, Vicious X. The attack inflicts X additional damage for each effect rolled. So that is 12 damage. Now, advantage. Okay, the advantage is how combat works for this game is you immediately get to slough off a certain amount of damage based on your scale size. So, your scale size is 4. So you immediately slough off 4 damage. So anything
We're now
below
at 8.
4 would be basically no damage. Okay, so now you're at 8 damage. And you take that all on your shields. So we're going to go ahead and click your ship here. Click your... Oh, nope, that's not what I want. I want to do tokens objects. No, tokens objects. Come on. Why am I having a problem?
Klingons.
Yeah. Token objects. I'm trying to click your ship. And it's still doing that to me. Okay. Sorry. It keeps drawing even though I don't want to draw anymore. Select a move. Here we go.
Did you select arrow instead of the
Nope.
drawing?
I did select move, so. Okay, so I'm going to drop you guys down to 2, I believe. Yes?
Yes.
Okay. Save changes. That's 2. Now, the next thing is, if I score over 5 damage, shields or no, you take a breach. So we roll on the breach chart. And the breach chart is on... I used to have... Oh, these things are marked. Why am I flipping through the book when I literally have ship damage? Okay. So, we roll breaches. You took, right now, 1 breach, because I did not have anything to add a different breach. So, 1 breach is just damaged. So, if you go to page 227, there's a breach table. Okay. At the bottom, it says for a scale 4 ship to be damaged, you have to have 2 breaches. Okay? So until you get 2 breaches on the same thing, there's no ill effect. Now, what I want you to do is, Captain, roll me a single D20. I believe
Do I have access to those?
You should be able to do...
oh, that's right.
So you just do /roll space D20. There you go. So you have a breach, or you have a single breach on sensors. So right now, okay, it's not a major thing because you have to have 2 breaches before before it's an issue. Okay, so make sure I get a clean sheet here. So the Hathaway has 1 breach on sensors. Okay, your shields are down to 2. Okay, now that is the Katinga prototype's first action. Now it's your turn.
I want to skedaddle.
Okay, so how
You
it
said
works. Oh, go
Two
ahead.
breaches on where?
No, it's a single breach.
1 on sensors.
Sensors. Okay.
But our shields are almost down. We are ridiculously outmatched, and we're in enemy territory. So technically,
But we could only retreat with impulse, right? Do we have enough shields to retreat?
So basically, how this works is it's supposed to be free it's supposed to be basically free to close range, 1 energy to medium range, and don't do this to me. Something's happening. Is that good? Okay. And then I think it's 2 energy to long
For
range.
long. Right.
So yes, we can retreat. It'll cost us 2 energy.
So where do you want to go? So ping where you want to go. You want to go that way. Okay. And you want to spend 2 energy.
Yes. Unless somebody has a fantastic plan for kicking a Katingal's butt in enemy territory.
Okay. So let's go ahead and spend your
I like
2
running.
energy. Down to 5. Save changes. Go ahead and do your move. Okay.
Wait, I get up to 12 with a long.
Yes.
Then I'm going to take the full 12.
Okay.
Which takes me off the map.
Okay. So what we're going to do is let me adjust this map again. Okay. So I'm going to take this. I'm going to take this map background. I'm going to switch it to this side. Okay. Take these lines. This side. Like that.
There is Q in the vicinity, altering our space.
What?
Okay. Actually, because your side's a lot smaller than the other side is. So we're actually going to move it down to like that. Okay. And now we're going to take your tokens. We're going to put you like there. And okay. Here we go. So I got to adjust the viewing screen for the watchers. Okay, there we go. Now he's actually a lot farther than this. I just didn't want to have to move it again. So for I didn't think it was that far, but okay. Okay, so what happens here is on his turn, he does the same thing. So let me mark how much energy he spent. What did I say my energy was? Okay, so that's that. Okay, and he basically comes there.
Okay.
Okay.
Now we can fire.
Hold on. I am spending one of my starting threat, and I'm keeping initiative, and I'm firing again. And that's the only time I can do that this round. Let me mark that down because this is action 2 of the round.
Did we forget to notify the Klingons that we acquired stealth technology?
Okay, so I can't do that again. Okay. So, and I gotta mark how much threat I'm down to. Okay. And he shoots again. So he attacks the same time, the same round. So I need 3 successes to be successful with this one. Last time it was 2. So it lets you know what's going on. He is because it's his crew. Because Chang can only shoot one time, just like you guys can only shoot one time. Which reminds, or do one action per turn. Which reminds me, who moved your ship?
I think it was me. Am I still piloting?
If you're piloting, okay. So what happens is, each person can only do one action per turn. You can't have the same person do the same, or you can't have more than one person action unless the captain gives directives or the XO has the ability to give directives. So that means for your turn, or for this round of action, for these 4 rounds of action, you're done. In fact, this is the 3rd action for this ship, and he only gets 3. Because he's only a class 3. So this is the last action he gets for this round. So you guys get to do 2 actions back to back. Okay, so
Does that mean we can run farther this round?
Or maybe get out of the nebula and engage our warp.
That's not right.
Yeah, we need a status on our warp engines. We also need, now that he's in our space, we can actually fire back. I wanted to be in our space before we did that. We can also send a distress signal.
Okay.
These are options.
So that is only 1 success with the crew. In fact, that's a boo-boo. So, and then now the ship's going to roll, and the ship's going to roll prototype, so weapons and security. Damn. So, he shoots, and the ship completely whiffs. You guys are still in the nebula. It's a little rocky in there. They shoot where they think you're supposed to be. The ship takes a little bit of a bump, and it goes past you over your dorsal. Okay, so that's his 3 actions for this turn.
Okay.
You guys have you actually have 3 actions because you've only acted once.
First, we're going to fire.
I'm digging it. Okay, who do you want to fire?
Etrigan.
Etrigan. Do you want to give him any, or does Etrigan choose to take any momentum?
Yes.
Now you can use momentum to succeed, or to roll, do extra dice roll. You can also spend momentum to do more damage, and then look at your stats or look at your abilities as the weapons officer. You might also find that there are ways for you to use that momentum in other ways. And so you want to take an extra momentum to fire.
Yes.
So that's go ahead and drag a momentum off. Actually, I think I can.
Now, because this is his action, are we still able to have somebody assist him or no?
Technically, yes.
But does that assistance count as their action in this 4 action round?
No.
Okay. So what are you having him roll?
He's going to roll. He is going to roll for weapons. That's his specialty. So he's going to do control control security, and the ship rolls weapons security.
Okay. I've only got a combined 12 in control security.
I'm 12 on control, 1 on security.
Oh, so you're combined 13.
Yes.
I am also a combined 13.
Look at you guys medding.
Okay, Dr. Xhad, I'm going to have you support him.
Okay.
I know, you're a doctor. This makes no sense.
Oh, no. I'm here to help everybody.
Does my combat tactics focus apply?
Yes.
Okay. So it's 2 dice plus the focus?
No, it's 3 dice.
3 dice.
And a focus.
Because you pulled a momentum.
Yes.
Oh, that's right. That's right.
We gotta kick some Klingon booty.
Woo!
So you
That
only
booty
need 2
has been
successes.
kicked.
Okay. And I'm taking you're doing phasers at this range.
Yes,
Yes.
phasers.
Okay. So you're losing 1 energy for firing phasers because it takes 1 energy to fire phasers. So let me go ahead and drop that down to 4 now. Okay. Now, go ahead and roll up some Ds, some D6s. For you, your phasers are. Ooh, wow. Is that really how many strong your phasers are? Holy shnikes. That is 8 D6s.
Would you like to do the honor, Mr. Etrigan?
Sure.
Don't
So,
suppose we
click on the
regained
challenge
any
dice.
momentum, did we?
Technically, yes. Sorry. You only
No.
you got 2 more momentum.
Nice. And nice
I
on
get
the roll.
2 more
Oh,
momentum.
no. See where it says challenge dice in the bottom left corner? Click that.
Yeah, right below the DM's name. Yeah, there you go.
Because that's a macro so we can see effects, because effects make the difference.
So 8, you said?
Yep.
There you go.
Okay. So this is 2, 3, 4, 5. And then you have 3 effects. Now here's the catch to this. Getting a effect gives you versatile 2. Doesn't matter if you have. It's not a versatile is not a repeat. Sadly. Okay. Versatile is not a repeat. By getting one effect, you get the ability to assign 2 points in a versatile mode. You can either do 2 points of penetration, or you can do 2 points of damage. Your choice.
And
I
what
have no
would
idea
the
what any of that
difference-
means.
Yeah,
Dude,
what would the difference
well,
be?
ultimately for this, it doesn't make too much of difference because versatile or 2 versatile means you drop the resistance to the ship, which is a class 3, down to 1, or you add 2 more
Nice.
damage and negate it. So in actuality, a versatile 2 gets you the same effect.
What do you suggest, Captain?
Let's damage these suckers.
Works
So you have damage 7. It only has a 3 resistance, so that is 4. And let me check the shields on the Katinga. Ooh. Okay. Because you didn't do 5 damage, there is no breach, but you did knock their shields down 4 points.
I like it.
And now we run away.
Okay, so that's action 2. Action 3.
Since I already flew the ship once, Mr. Tahl, will you please run us away again? Also, what's the status of our warp engines? Grok.
Oop.
Grok,
Yes.
what's the status on our warp engines?
You are at the nebula edge right now, so this would be the last round that you cannot warp.
Okay. All in favor of hightailing it out of here. Crew?
Oh, that's a tough
I
one.
like it.
Well, we know what the security officer wants.
But he just got to shoot some Klingons.
Yeah, shoot. Yeah.
I mean, you can
Whatever,
shoot. You can
whatever
shoot
you
again,
decide, Captain.
but it's one more difficulty
Medical crew standing by. However you decide.
because
Okay.
well, let's see. You have 2 actions left, so
Yeah,
you can
I feel
still
let's-
shoot and run.
That's what I was about to suggest is we shoot the Klingons one more time and then we run away again.
Okay, so you've gone, and the security officer is gone. Who is going to take the shot?
If I may make an alternate suggestion instead of shooting again,
Yes.
I could use my turn to help regenerate shields.
Oh, that would be awesome.
Yes.
Ooh.
He can do that or
Actually,
regenerate
I have a suggestion as well.
energy.
Okay.
We're almost to warp range. If we run at impulse one more time, could our fourth action then be to warp out of here?
Yes.
I was trying to have a little bit more fun before we walked out of here, but
If it was anyone else, I would say they were just trying to defend their people and their territory. But
I mean, they are.
yes, but they're also Klingons, and that never leads to anything good.
but we did violate Klingon space.
In trying to search for who did them wrong in protection of their people.
We have no confirmation that anything even happened. Chang didn't find the debris. We didn't find any debris.
We also didn't do any threatening their space, and he fired on to kill us.
Yes, Chang is a jerk, but we weren't squeaky clean.
Now then maybe it's better that we do turn and run. I would like to blast a couple more times, but like I said, whatever you decide, we're ready to stand with you.
All right, I think I want to fire on him one more time because I'm worried about just how far he will follow us into Federation space because he is such a jerk.
Yeah.
All
right.
Yeah.
Good call.
Okay, control security. Dr. Xhad, how about you take control this time?
I'm pretty sure I remember where the buttons that he used. I think he pushed this one over here, and I see his finger.
I grab your
fingerprints over
finger
here.
and I move it to the right button.
Okay.
And that's why our security officer is supporting her while she fires.
Could I go ahead and use the momentum as well?
If you so choose.
Okay.
Yeah, we got a bunch back. Let's do that.
Yes,
Oh.
And Mr. Etrigan.
So what am I doing? Control
You're
security
supporting.
with one?
One. Yeah. Supporting.
You can use focuses in support, though.
Yes, you can.
Yes.
And does the ship go as well? Oh, there we go.
The ship didn't help.
Hathaway. The nebula. It's messing with her.
Dang, Nebula.
Yeah.
Okay. Let me get that momentum. Either give it to me or drag one of your cards onto the table and I can delete it.
I don't seem to have the ability to drag one of the cards onto the table.
Well, that's because I got you stealing action, so I might have to take that. There you go. Oop. Dr. Xhad took the stealing one. So
the DM gets nothing.
So go ahead and drag one of those onto the table. Okay. There we go. So now I delete it. Okay. So that is an successful attack because you got more than 3 successes. However, it takes 2 energy as part of you because you had a complication.
We just put a little more oomph to it. That's all.
So you're down to 2 energy. Okay.
How much energy will we need to start the warp engines?
1.
Thank you.
Okay. So let's roll up them dice.
Okay, and how many am I rolling?
You're still rolling 8.
Yeah, I like that.
Take out the trash, baby.
So 3 and 3 effects, total of 6.
Okay. Plus you get the versatile. So that's actually 8 total. Because whether you penetrate its armor or do 2 more damage, it's the same thing. Right. So that's a total of 8. He sloughs off 3 for his size. And that is 5.
5.
Ha ha.
So, Captain, give me a D20. Let's see what he
system we
breached.
destroyed?
Yep. Now he's a class.
Come on, weapons. Come on, weapons.
Ship
Come on,
combat.
engines.
Come on, warp core.
So he's a class 3. He also needs 2 breaches. An 8 is also sensors on them.
Well, that's not helpful.
Yeah, Katinga.
Well, if they want to know where we're at when they're shooting.
Sensors. Okay. And this is your last action.
We run away.
Okay.
Using 1 power. How far can we get on 1 power?
Okay. 1 power is medium, so basically 5 squares.
Haha, we're out of the nebula.
Okay. Now, new round. What time is it? 4:30. Okay, so new round. Because you did 4 actions and they did 3 actions. So, Klingons went first last round, so you guys can go first this round.
Mr. Tahl, please bring online the warp core. We're getting out of here.
Yes, Captain.
Okay, so because this is a warp in combat, okay, you're going to actually have to roll for this. This isn't a freebie. Okay, it's not a hard one. It's 2 successes. So, it's a free set of actions, so anybody can go. You need 2 successes to enter warp.
And what would we be rolling?
Control and con with the ship's engines in con.
Okay, I would be a total of 15. Anyone higher?
I'm only 13.
Control and con. A 4.
Yeah, you're rolling. I'm only a 13.
Anyone
what-
able to assist, or
How are you so high in con?
because I'm awesome?
I've been teaching her to fly in her
Yeah,
stuff.
I guess.
Somebody had a 14.
Security.
Okay, security, you assist, and I'll roll for the ship. What's the ship rolling?
Engines con.
Okay, and let's use a momentum. We don't want to mess around here.
Sounds good.
Wow.
Yeah, I can't drag the cards. Just say
You can't just click and drag it onto the tabletop.
Click it, and then click one of those and drag.
ah.
There you go.
I see.
There you go.
Okay, go away.
Okay,
There.
so is that everybody's roll?
Did we do good? Looks
That's
like it.
2, 3, 4, 5. So
Hathaway
Yeah.
likes being out of the nebula.
Yeah, we know how to run away real well.
Heck yeah.
okay, so you basically lose the last bit of engines that you have or power you have to spark the warp drive and take off. Now, because you're really low power, you didn't jump right to maximum speed. It's taking you a while to build it up. As you take off, they follow you. And because their engine power is higher, they're actually catching you.
Even with their sensors all jacked up, huh?
And even like way into Federation space.
They are chasing you down.
Surprise.
Yeah,
And
They're Klingons.
the last thing you see or last thing you detect is the ship cloaking.
Okay, this is now an active war.
Mm-hmm.
We need to contact Starfleet immediately.
Mm-hmm.
Because even if we don't make it out of this, they need to know that this Brigadier Chang is a bad dude.
Mm-hmm.
So you send a communication to Starfleet.
Yes.
Okay? That same admiral that gave you the directions is now on the screen. Report, Captain.
We're being chased in Federation space by a prototype Katinga class commanded by Brigadier Chang. Has there been we could not find any evidence of Kronos 1 or the Enterprise. Please advise we are we're we're in great danger.
Captain, you seem flustered.
Well, yes.
Did the engagement start on our side or their side?
The Klingons on the starboard.
They
bow.
fired on us on their side. We did not engage until we crossed into Federation space, and they followed us.
Understood. What's the last position that you report them on?
Right behind us.
P-28.
Like, we're not actually on P-28 though, because we're at warp speed.
Okay. We will divert ships to your position. Turn
Make
towards New Sydney
Okay.
as you originally orders entailed. They
Mhm.
will have some ability to assist you once you arrive.
Look out,
Is there any
delegation. Here we come.
chance of getting Konos to pull off their attack dog?
We can contact them, but I've got a feeling that once they find out that we are on their side,
To assist.
Trying
They-
to find out what happened to their chancellor.
we just got a report after opening communications trying to establish their chancellor's just fine.
Well, Brigadier Chang said he encountered the same transmission. He didn't find any evidence of anything either. What do we have any idea what's going on here?
That's what we were hoping you would find out. Unfortunately, it looks like you're a little preoccupied.
Yeah, we're a little busy.
Continue your route to New Sydney. Maybe we can get this de-escalated by the time you get there.
I certainly hope so. Hathaway out.
And we'll go back to the big map here. And with that, we'll show the map. So, your engagement, so you might want to zoom in just a little bit so you get a little accuracy in my ping locations. So basically, you started here. Okay. And then the engagement was continued right in there, which was a little bit distance away. And now you're heading towards here with him hot on your tail. You established that the communication roughly came from here, but there was also a gravity disturbance in that area too.
So near Kittimer, was it a podcast?
Near
So-
Borath were some time crystals.
Oh my God.
Yeah, I said that in the chat like a while ago. Whereas it has the time crystals, it's got to be transmission from the future.
Yeah.
Crystals. Well, hold on, let me take a drink of something first.
Bourbon?
If only I could erase it away.
I was not a fan of that plot line.
So with that, that's where we're gonna go ahead and end this episode.
Hopefully XO is going to have our backs.
Oh, wouldn't that be great if he met us with the spear? I got you, Captain.
Wait, does he have the spear?
Yes, the spear is
Okay.
what took him there.
Good.
Perfect.
Yeah. Oh, he would love getting some combat in with his ship.
Yeah, this should be interesting. I mean, it's a little bit of gray area. I mean, you were in there, he got to shoot you, you shot back.
Why do you think I scanned the hell out of everything before we crossed?
Well,
I didn't
Yeah,
know.
we were there to assist.
so the first couple
There to
times,
assist.
Until he crossed the border and continued to attack.
Yep.
the first couple times that you guys scanned, he wasn't in the nebula. Because I actually have a timeline of where he is as we go through the story. So he wasn't in there, and between that and the nebula's a little sketchy to get through. Anyways, that's one of the reasons why you pick up the comms, because it was south of the nebula where the actual comms came through. So,
South, east, and west work in space.
and it works on this map.
That's right. Hathaway, she did good. Good job, little ship.
The ship didn't roll very well.
When it counted.
Failed like once or twice.
Well,
When it counted.
to be honest, your ship's not really designed as a combat ship.
No, she's a diplomatic ship.
That's right. So
Yeah, this Federation has a really bad habit of sending, science vessels, exploration vessels in the frickin' dangerous territory.
Yeah, why were we sent at all? This should have been a diplomatic inquiry.
well,
Because we were the closest ship there.
that's right.
The idea was that we should be there to ship available to try to stop the Enterprise. Of course, if the Enterprise was running at full power,
But we didn't.
stop her.
But we didn't